This is the HOG3x from Santa Monica Filtration. This is the newest HOG scrubber, which stands for Hang on Glass, and it's the newest one as of October 2014 when this is being made right now. And this HOG scrubber, the X3x, stands for extra LEDs, and the extra LEDs gives it extra red light for water that has a higher phosphate in it, so that it will grow greener sooner, because the more phosphate you have in the water, or the more phosphate you have coming from the rocks, then the more light you want to have in your scrubber to generate photosynthesis faster, and that's what does your filtering. And so let's just go over a couple things here. And this, of course, being the first HOG scrubber with 2 power supplies. This is just like the Surf 4 has 2 power supplies. The low power, in this case, this powers just 3 of the LEDs, and then the additional one adds on an extra 6 LEDs, and when they're both plugged in you have 9 LEDs, which is the most of any HOG scrubber yet. So here it is. The HOG scrubber is sitting on this plexiglass perspex. It's about a ½ inch right here, and it just kind of shows you the position up at the top level right here. And like with any HOG scrubber, it can the whole point is then you can slide it around and you can move it from side to side when you are, maybe you want to feed your fish and let them eat off the glass. Okay, so when you move it one way, the fish will maybe eat off, or the snails will eat here off the part that you moved it across. Okay, so the HOG3x, the shell, this part here is the same as the HOG 1.3, the HOG2, and the HOG3. The shells and the magnets are exactly the same, and they're all these big bar magnets here that are sealed in black aquarium safe silicone. And the inside, let's go ahead and take this out. The inside part here is exactly the same as the HOG3, and then if you remove the strings, it's exactly the same as the HOG2. So it has, of course, the tubing, the air tubing coming in down here and across here. The tubing is sliced like this, and it's shown to be a very reliable system for delivering air bubbles to the growth surfaces. This is your green grabber surface here, rock hard, just like where algae attaches on the beach when it attaches to rocks, same thing. It's also white to reflect the most light to help grow more algae, especially when you are growing dark algae and you need more light to grow more algae. The strings, of course, fill up this middle area, which is what gives it a two-sided effect, because strings are two-sided. It's going to grow on both sides of the string. It can't shade because the string is so narrow. So this is a two-sided growth area right here. Bubbles coming in here, bringing water, and then going out the top or out the sides holes here. Magnets around here. Of course, the big difference with the HOG3x being the light here. As you see, it has 9 LEDs with 2 power supply cords going in. One power supply cord powers these 3 right here, and they make a triangle for low power, and then the other power supply, of course, powers the rest. And it's all heat sinked in here and inside the black cover. There's no holes for light to get out. So I'll plug in the low power first of all here. Okay, so the low power makes a triangle, and this should not require a shade cloth on new installation. It should be low power enough that no cloth is needed. Therefore, it should just start growing a brown coating just like that. Alrighty. Now when I plug in the second one, after you've been running it about a week or so, and you get a brown coating on your green grabber surfaces and the strings, then you plug in the remainder of the power, and you get the full power right there. It's very bright. Okay, so the HOG3 just has 6 of these, so this has 50% more than the HOG3. That's why it's X, extra LEDs. Alright, so let's unplug this for now because I can't see. It still runs relatively not hot after a while, even when it's been operating for hours. This gets warm, but really it's really not that much at all for what you would think, and it doesn't warm the glass at all. Alright, so everything else I'm going to go over is going to be stuff that pertains to all the hogs. So I'll make separate short little videos of those. The only thing I do want to mention here is that if you've been running it on the low power mode for a week or week and a half, and you have nothing at all on your surfaces, they're bone white, maybe because you have a new tank, or you just have no nutrients yet and you've got nothing at all, then you're going to want to shade your low power LEDs. So just take any cloth, okay, and then shade the bottom part of it, just like that, okay. Leave the top part open and then shade the bottom 2/3, and that way you can tell what part grows better. Alright, so if after another week this part's growing, you know you don't need the cloth, just remove the cloth. But after a week this part's growing, then you know you need to shade the whole thing until it gets going. But for most situations, especially people with phosphate problems needing this more powerful lighting, you're probably not going to need this at all. So you can just go right with the low power mode. Alright, so I guess that is it. Everything else is the same as the other hog scrubbers, and then I'll do some other short videos showing some other details about this afterwards. Enjoy your HOG3x.